This is a sports catastrophe production. Hey there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another sports catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday boy for today, June the 10th, is a former NHL player and former NHL head coach who's now 60 years old. He was selected by the Islanders in the 1980 entry draft, played a lot of games for the Islanders and Blackhawks during his 18-year career, one of the best face-off stars of all time, winning 2 Stanley Cups with the Islanders and part of the Canada Cup team 3 times. When he retired, he bought the Red Deer Rebels of the Western Hockey League and was the team's head coach and GM for 8 years, winning a Memorial Cup and a pair of Canadian junior gold medals. Then he went to the NHL and not doing so badly. Anyway, he is a member of the famous Sutter family. We'll get to the Sutter family in hockey later. He is Brent Sutter. So Brent Sutter played, I think, his junior team with Red Deer or somewhere. I don't know where he played his junior hockey. But anyway, he would play for the Islanders and Blackhawks in the NHL, finishing with 829 points in 1,111 regular season games and 74 playoff games. Points, sorry. In the 1980 NHL draft, he was the Islanders' first pick, 17th overall. So there were 21 teams. The Islanders were the 5th best team technically, so they got the worst pick. So Brent Sutter from the Red Deer Wrestlers of the Alberta Junior Hockey League went 17th. He was only the 3rd center taken in the draft. Doug Wickenheiser was taken from Montreal, and Teddy Savard was taken from Chicago. Taken for Chicago. So yeah, he did his job. He lasted 10 years with the New York Islanders and had some success. In his first 3 seasons, he got to the Stanley Cup Finals, winning the first 2 of them. Brent Sutter was a face-off guy and a good center for the aging Trottier and Henny, I think. But anyway, Sutter was named captain of 1987 when Dennis Potvin decided to relinquish the role. So he was a decent captain. The Islanders in the late 80s, early 90s weren't that bad, but they weren't that good either. Shockingly, he would be traded to the Chicago Blackhawks for Adam Creighton and Steve Thomas. It worked out for the Islanders because Steve Thomas was a decent player for the Islanders and helped them in the 93 playoff run. He would spend 7 years with the Chicago Blackhawks. And ironically, he would be coached by older brother Daryl Sutter, who was the 2022 Jack Adams winner. Brent actually was the last player in the NHL to play for the Islanders, to be active, and played with the Islanders in the 80s dynasty. In 92, he got to the Stanley Cup Finals with the Hawks, but they got swept by the Penguins. So after he left hockey as a professional, like a active player, he became a coach, and he would help Red Deer win the 2001 Memorial Cup, and he would coach the Canadian junior teams to consecutive gold medals in the 2005 and 2006 championships. Of course, the 2005 championships are the ones. It's the one remembered by Canada dominating Russia in the final, and of course having like an all-star team because of the NHL's lockout. Canada won consecutive gold medals, becoming the first coach to lead them to consecutive gold medals. Usually, there's one coach a year. Sutter declined the chance to do it a 3rd time in 2007. Sutter was the head coach GM of Red Deer, winning the 2001 Memorial Cup. I actually want to see stuff about the 2001 Memorial Cup because as a Canadian, you may want to take a look. So the Memorial Cup was in Regina. Red Deer won the round robin, which meant they got to go to the final, and they beat Val-d'Or in overtime, the Quebec team. Colby Armstrong was on that team, Martin Erat, Boyd Gordon, Jim Vandermeer, and Jeff Wojcicka. yeah. So he won the Memorial Cup. Good for him. That's the Canadian Junior Championship, if you must know. Anyway, so Sutter resigned as the Red Deer guy to coach the Devils and got him to 46 wins and a playoff berth, which was good. The following season, 2009, they won 51 games, but were shocked in the first round by Carolina after Carolina scored 2 goals in the final 2 minutes of play. Sutter decided to step down, citing family reasons. And then 2 weeks later, he was named head coach of Calgary because his brother Daryl was the Flames GM. It was not right with Devils fans. Everyone was pissed off that he would step down and then later sign to coach another team. He spent 3 years with Calgary, and Sutter would come back to Red Deer. Anyway, so he spent a long time with the Islanders and Blackhawks. Won 3 Canada Cups in 84, 87, 91. That's the international. That's like the World Cup of hockey. His coach career in the NHL: 215 wins, 146 losses, 49 ties. Got to 2 playoff appearances, but he lost both times in the quarterfinal. First to the Rangers and then to the Canes. In the juniors, he helped Red Deer win the Memorial Cup, and in 2019, he stepped down from head coaching Red Deer. Unfortunately, they didn't do so well. But in 2016, they went to the Memorial Cup and lost. Anyway, let's talk about the Sutter family. It is one of the most spectacular families ever. The first generation. You know, it was amazing and all of that. The Sutters, there's 6 brothers who played in the NHL. Brent, Brian, Daryl, Dwayne, Rich, and Ron. Rich and Ron are twins, by the way. The others are singlets. And 4 brothers, Brian, Dwayne, Daryl, and Brent, were coaches and GMs in the NHL, with Brian, Daryl, and Brent Sutter being head coach of the Calgary Flames. The funny thing is, every one of the 6 brothers played for either Chicago or St. Louis at one point. There was a 7th boy, and that was Gary, but he was the oldest, and he had to do the work on the family farm when the boys had to go do their hockey and all that. So Gary as the oldest had to take care of things on the farm. The first generation of Sutters had one brother playing for 24 seasons, from 1977 to 2001. And all 6 Sutters, as I said, played from 1983 to 1987 at the same time. It's like, what the heck? 6 Sutters. Collectively, they played 5,000 games and won 6 Stanley Cups. Brent won 2. Dwayne was on for all 4 Islander victories. Dwayne Sutter. Daryl reached the Cup finals 3 times as head coach, winning the Cup twice. There's a second generation, Brandon, Brody, and Brett Sutter. So yeah, Brian was the first one. He was drafted in 1976, 20th overall by the Blues. So yeah. All 6 brothers took the same path to the NHL. They would start in the Alberta Junior Hockey League with Red Deer and then would be part of the WHL's Rich Broncos. So yeah, Brian went first. He was drafted by the Blues. And he would be a good coach. He would coach St. Louis to a decent mark in 1991 and was named the Jack Adams Award for Best Coach. In 93 and 2002, he was runner-up for that award. His number 11 is retired by the Blues. Daryl is the second one. He actually was in the 11th round, picked in the 11th round by Chicago in 1978. That was when Jets were 11 rounds and not 7. Daryl, unfortunately, had a bad playing career because of injuries. He did score a couple of key overtime goals. I think it was him. Yeah, it was Daryl, who scored a couple key overtime goals for the Blackhawks against the North Stars in 1985, if I remember right. Daryl spent 11 years coaching the Blackhawks, Sharks, and Flames. And he is the Calgary head coach. Dwayne Sutter was selected by the Islanders 17th in 1979. Spent all the first 4 seasons with the Islanders and winning the cup every time. Dwayne was not much of a point scorer like the others. Brent, I talked about Brent just now. Ron and Rich are twins. Ron was taken fourth by the Flyers in 1982, 6 spots ahead of Rich. Ron played for 7 teams in his career and finished his career in 2001, which was amazing. The twins, Rich and Ron, would spend 3 years together with the Flyers in the 1980s and 3 more with the Blues in the 1990s, when Brian would coach them. And Ron actually is the only brother who didn't play or work for the Blackhawks. Anyway, Rich, the twin, was 10th overall by Pittsburgh in 1982, went into the 1983 Memorial Cup, played for 7 teams during his career, and played with Brent and Ron, and was coached by Brian and Daryl. So yeah, so the Sutters collectively. Brent had the most points of the 6 brothers at 829. Second was Brian with 636. Of course, there's 3 second-generation Sutters have played in the NHL. Sean was drafted in 1998 by Calgary, but never made it to the NHL, so he went to Europe to play. Brett, B-R-E-T-T, was drafted by the Flames in 2005. He tried to make it, and Brandon is the better one. Brandon is Brent's son. Brett was Daryl's son. Sean was Brian's son. So Brandon plays for the Vancouver Canucks and was drafted 11th overall by the Carolina Hurricanes in 2007. Brody is Dwayne's son and is now in Austria. Lucas is Rich's son, who was born in St. Louis. He played for Saskatoon. He was actually drafted with the 39th pick of the 2012 draft by the Jets, but didn't sign with them. The Islanders would pick him 200th overall in 2014. And Riley is Ron's son playing in the AHL. So yeah, nice to see the Sutters being represented, because there are the royal family in the NHL. I know the Gretzky's, but I mean the Sutters had 6 guys join them in the NHL, and they would have had a 7th if it wasn't for farm duty. But that's the way it goes. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.